Well, Hurricane Milton is on his way, and we didn't even get a chance to get comfortable with the fact that Helene came and went. Helene just pummeled a good portion of the whole United States on this side. It has erased towns in North Carolina. My neighbor next door, he got hit up there, and they had no power for 5 days, so he came back down here. Now he's getting hit again. So, so here's where I'm at, okay? We just got this house fixed up from Hurricane Ian, which has been 2 years ago. And we've got the hurricane windows. And everybody's sandbagging everything. And I'm sitting there going, man, the sandbags really ain't gonna work for us. So, you know, I'm an old-time contractor. I'm kind of easy to improvise. And I thought, you know what? If I could fill up the cracks around these hurricane doors, we used hurricane doors to put this house together. I might not get any water at all. Now, if you look at the hurricane track, it says that I'm going to get 4 feet to 7 feet over the ground level, okay, in high tide, okay? That's what it says. But let's face it, they're just guessing. They have no idea. They really don't have any idea. They're just saying the conditions are right for that to happen. So I woke up this morning, I called up our rehab guys, and I said, look, let's seal all this stuff up with expandable foam. And yes, I know it's going to be a freaking nightmare to get it off. So we went around this whole house, and we closed up every one of my sliders and made a tight seal. They have pretty good seals already, but there's no way that they're waterproof at the level of having 6 or 7 foot of water against them. Now, honestly, that's about as deep as we're going to go without starting to do major damage. This generator in Hurricane Ian was running, and it got drowned from running. So we got that going on. So if you go all the way around the house, I had the guys go ahead and remount these up higher. They were at ground level. I know this looks like hell, and I hope that it's going to work. We don't know. We don't know. There's my tarp. It got ripped off in the last storm at Helene. And all this nasty looking stuff here, this is all expandable foam. So we did it all the way around the whole house. So you look at it all the way around there. So that's what we've done. So Hurricane Helene, the water got right to here. Never got up on it, just got right to here, was lapping against it. Didn't get above the pool deck. And that's the story that I heard when I moved here, when I bought here. I talked to a neighbor 2 doors down. He said the same thing. When he bought here, the guy he bought from had lived here for 15 years, and he said the same thing. He hadn't had any water in his pool since he's been here. So that's what we're doing to get ready. Now I've got a bunch of other property that's it's over in Bonita, it's on the Imperial River, and one of them's on a canal, and they're both places that are prone to flood. So we're going to do the same thing over there, but we're going to use plywood. All right, so let's take a cruise down Fort Myers Beach, and let's see what's going on. Let's see what people are doing to get ready for this storm, okay? So my neighbor over here, I helped him yesterday at 6 o'clock in the morning. He called me at 5:30. Him and I are over there wrestling his tarp and getting it into his garage. He took his 40-foot boat down and put it into storage down in Naples. And then he took his 20-foot trailer and he's got it in our storage lot over at our shop. So Reflow Plumbing here did the same thing. This is my guys. This is one of the guys that worked for me forever. He came from the moving business. He knows how to move stuff. So what we're doing is we're moving stuff out. So come on inside. I kind of doing the double, watch yourself, don't back into that. So they're backing up, they're gonna get the door open, and let me show you what we're doing. So Angie's got a tanning bed in there, they're gonna take that. In here, you know, I talked to Angie on the phone and said, hey, I'm thinking about moving a bunch of this stuff. We got the option, we have a crew available. And she's like, hey Dave, whatever you want to do. I'm like, Angie, you need to come home because I'm moving everything. So at any rate, this is our master bedroom, which was full of furniture about an hour ago. So I have the guys taking the, they're going to take the washer and dryer out of here. Now when I put these in, they're solid wood. So the cabinets are wood. I assumed when we rehabbed this after Ian that this could possibly happen again. Now I didn't want it to happen, and I didn't want it to happen this quick. But what I did is some of the rehab stuff here we did, I didn't do anything high end. These look just exactly like my Airbnbs. This is basic renovation. So some of the stuff that we got in here, it came from the repurposing. Like, I'll give you an example. That right there, this came out of an over order in a high-end high-rise. This right here came from the same thing. It was something that we repurposed. So that kind of stuff. So we repurposed a lot of that stuff. So cut the cost down a little bit. All the drywall's new, all the trims new, all the electrics new. All this stuff in here, we repurposed these cabinets or these tops. All of this is solid wood. So it should take getting wet once, and then we should be able to rinse it out and it would be okay and it's not going to explode. Appliances are brand new. I don't know what to say about that. All the furniture, brand new since Hurricane Ian came. Now some of it's repurposed, like these benches here are repurposed from London Bay's model that got sunk in Hurricane Ian. Same thing with those chairs over there. That's something that came and was repurposed. Hey, Ange, turn all them lights on, will you? So, and then back here, this is our command central for the eBay, for the YouTube channel. I'm kind of tired. I got up at 3:30 this morning, okay? So bear with me a little bit. So basically, that's it. A lot of this stuff is just going to be too much to take. I'm going to tell Logan that I got that available. He might come down here with his girl's been trying to get that from me for a while. This stuff in here, this all came from, this has all been repurposed from one of those houses down on the beach that we got a bunch of stuff from. So this has been repurposed. So it's solid wood. It should take a hurricane just fine, but we're not going to take that. So here we go. We got Mike and Superman 1 and Superman 2. They're getting this stuff moved for us. We're going to leave the TV, leave all the decorations, leave anything that's about this high. The rest of it we'll put in the top of the closets. So that's what we're doing to get prepared. We're caulking up this garage. We're sealing up the garage doors. If we get a lot of water, I'm thinking, in my gut, based off my experience, which I'll argue this the other way after I say this, I think we're going to get about a foot of extra surge here. That's what I think. Now ask me why I think that. Why do you think that? I don't know, but I do. That's my gut. Based on, you know, since 1964, other than Hurricane Ian, nothing's been in this house. So why has something significant changed? Maybe it has. You know, people talk about the seawall, it's about the ice caps melting and that the sea level's going up. Well, I hear what you're saying, but I don't see it on my seawall. My seawall is not any different than it was. It's no different than it was when I moved here in 2003. So that I don't believe. Now, the oceans are definitely warmer. And I think it revs these hurricanes up at a level that's not even funny. But the amount of storm surge going over, we've had all kinds of hurricanes. And we haven't had this kind of storm surge before. So I don't know what to say. All I know is I'm beside myself. We're probably going to build up. Probably have my house lifted like my buddy my buddy had his lifted. So let's go down and see what's going on. Everybody else getting things prepared for this storm. So we're just going to do these raw. Okay. Okay, so these, what you're going to expect out of these is we are not going to have time to edit these in between everything else we need to do. So what we're going to do is look at that truck over there. That's my rehab crew. What they do is they work for us, and we buy properties and renovate them, and then we turn them into short-term rentals, and they've been working for us for about 3 years doing this. They renovated this house. Again, it's not a high-end renovation. It's an Airbnb level renovation. I didn't go out and spend $50,000 on cabinets and all that kind of stuff. I just knew better. They say luck favors the prepared. And I'm not saying I'm prepared, but I am saying that when I rehabbed that house, I rehabbed it knowing that this could happen again. So I'm thankful if it doesn't happen. I'm prayerfully hoping it doesn't happen, but I don't know. And then like this right here, they just went through this whole thing. They put their HVAC systems again down on the ground level. Well, guess what's going to happen? It's going to flood again, and those things are going to be shot again. So I know that FEMA's got an issue where they don't want to keep paying for this stuff over and over and over. And me, I don't want to keep going through it. I love living here 98.5% of the time. I love living here. I just love it. I love the fact that I can come down here and ride my bike down the beach, and that's my nirvana. So this is Logan calling me. Let me check out on what's going on with him. Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. What's up?
How many trucks is that plumbing guy bringing?
Sounded like 3.
Okay. We're already getting, Sharina's already telling us that we need to tighten stuff up, and that they just got another tenant that's moving in back behind us, and that FPL is going to be there.
Oh, well.
So we're going to be very tight on space.
All right. Reflow, we could just have them go over and park in the cul-de-sac. I mean, they're just going to do it.
I would say have him park in front of the cul-de-sac. If he's worried just about flooding, have him park in front of our shop for all I care.
Okay.
We're going to have all our stuff's going to be inside the yard, but
okay.
If he's just worried about flooding, have him park in front of the shop. That's fine.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
All right. Bye.
All right. So that phone call there, that is one of the businesses that got flooded out here after the hurricane. This is Talon calling. Very busy day. Yes, sir.
Hey.
Hey.
Do you know how many trucks that plumbing guy has?
I just talked to Logan about it. I think he has 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll verify that in a minute when I get off the phone, okay?
I got it.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks.
Okay, so the lot where we're keeping our equipment, the Florida Power and Light, they use that lot to marshal all their trucks to get them ready for when the hurricane hits. So all their trucks are heading here. So the same lot that we use to store all our trucks in is going to be used by them during this hurricane. Now, I didn't think about that the other day. I've had several people calling me and wanting to know if they can put their stuff, they know we own property, over on get it out of harm's way. The part of Bonita that we're in doesn't ever flood. So, and I gave them permission, gave my neighbor permission. I never thought about the FP&L. So, at any rate, it'll all work out in the end. So we'll work it out. All right, so a lot of these buildings, Hurricane Ian hit them. This is over 2 years ago, and they're all still empty. They're still working on them. And you say, well, that's crazy. And I would say yes. But what happened at the same time that Hurricane Ian happened, they had legislature going through the, I don't even know where it went through, but they basically passed new laws. The new laws basically said that anything that's over 25 years old has to be inspected at least every 25 years. So what's happening is all these buildings, they're putting them all back together. So now the hurricane ruined the elevators, it ruined the roof, it ruined the windows, it ruined the doors. In a lot of cases, they're having to do structural repairs to these buildings on top of all that. So the assessments on these things are going to be astronomical. Now, if you're buying a new condo, the assessments are already, the HOA fees are already high because they're actually making them put money into reserves. Right now, what they're doing is they're letting them self-manage. And almost every condominium association is self-managing to the point where they just keep pushing off very important things and not doing the maintenance. So there, what happens is what happened in Miami. What happened is they pushed it off, and everybody just kept ignoring all the cracks and stuff in the building, and the next thing you know, the whole building just collapsed with people in it. So terrible, terrible, terrible. So one of our machines, I'm going to go down here and check on it. We had one of our machines down here. We just pulled out a pool, and this morning when I went down through here, we had a 323 Caterpillar excavator that was sitting here, and basically so we didn't clean this lot up yet. We just got the excavator out of here prematurely because we don't want it to get flooded by the storm. So you see that guy coming out with his travel trailer, and he's trying to get out. And we are digging a hole. I'm gonna have to go into 4-wheel drive. How y'all like that? 4-wheel drive in the Raptor. Is he coming? There we go. If I didn't have 4-wheel drive, we'd have just got stuck. Oh my gosh.
That's a deep hole.
Is it all? Yeah, it's loose. Yeah, so normally at this point what happens is we bring in our skid steer and we make everything nice and flat and beautiful. Now these guys right here, we tore that down. That was the Dolphin right there on the left. Those guys actually own that white building there, which they stripped out after Hurricane Ian, and it's just been sitting. They haven't done anything to it. So, yeah, this truck's in 4-wheel drive low. I'm gonna have to kick it out of, hold the reset. So a lot of these guys, so this guy's getting ready. He's down here. I've seen that all morning. They're down here picking up all their equipment. They don't want it to get flooded out.
Town Hall's barricading the windows.
You know, Town Hall, they're barricading the windows on the lower level. All right, we're back to normal. 4x4 shift in progress. Okay, here we go again. Okay. So let's cruise through a couple of these little neighborhoods and see what's going on. At the other end, I seen that FEMA started their process again, where they come out and pick stuff up, and this came from Helene, and they're picking up all the debris on the side of the road. It was kind of like a mini operation, and they had a big old pile of debris started right there on Lover's Key, and I was shocked to see that. I just didn't think there was that much debris. So this place right here, this on the left, we tore this down about a year ago, and people dump on these lots and use them, and we've been over here a couple times cleaning up messes where people came back in here and dumped on their lot, which is just not cool at all. So right there in front of us to the left used to be a house, and it's gone. Now this guy right here, he's looking to get his trailer off of here. I don't think that the storm surge is going to hurt that, although he's probably got some equipment here that he's trying to get off the island. And because everybody's swamp busy, he probably doesn't have any way of getting it done. Now, here you go. Here's a moving company coming in. Somebody's saying, hey, I need to get my stuff out of here. So we're going to get out of his way because he's got a big old truck. And I was him, I wouldn't back out right here. So Hurricane Milton coming at us. They predicted it was going to go up to a 4, and it's going to come back down to a hurricane category 3 before it hits. I spent an hour in different increments, 20 minutes at a time, trying to find out what they know about the storm surge. And the reality of it is, I know deep in my heart that they don't really know until it gets a little bit closer what they're going to expect the storm surge to be, because it's going to be, if it's moving faster, it's going to be less. If it's moving slower, it's going to be more. It piles up the water. I don't know what's happened that has changed these storms to the point where every one of them we're getting are creating flood events for us. I don't know. It's frustrating and aggravating. So like this house right here is elevated enough. They probably, you see they got their countertops out there. They probably are not even finished from renovating this from when Hurricane Ian came in. There is a possibility that top and those tops came from my shop. There is a possibility of that, because a lot of the stuff that we get at Reuse It Pros is being used down here on the island and on Sanibel and other places where they're renovating. You know, you take a countertop setup, make your kitchen fit it, and you end up saving 6, 8, 10, 15 grand. Depends on, you know, what kind of material you're using. A lot of these little houses like that, they've been here before they paid attention to the elevations like they do now, and a lot of them, they're flooding over and over and over. My house got within 4 to 6 inches of flooding. When I bought my house, they basically said, you know, my next door neighbor who just checked in with me this morning, he said, never been over your pool since I've been here. He's been here since 1975 or 78. So now, so far he's right, except for Ian. Now Ian hit us directly, was going very, very slow, and they predicted the storm surge that we got, but they only predicted it about 4 hours before it hit. So that's where I'm looking to figure it out. So we may say in 3 days that we overreacted, or we're going to say in 3 days, I'm glad I did that. I'm trying to protect my house from flooding through the storm surge. What could happen is the storm surge could overwhelm those hurricane doors and just break them right, push them in, and you know, and they're toast. So in which case the house is going to flood anyway. Fortunately for me, I have the in-house rehab crew, so we'll just put the house back together and get back into it. But I'm considering talking to the guy that raised my buddy's house, and maybe get him to raise it, and then I'll do all the finish work in-house. So because I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to have this going on over and over and over. So here you go. We're in a state of an emergency, and the first thing that happens is everybody gets jammed up. So right here we have a situation where the traffic on the island is all stacked up. So that is one of them debris trucks that just took a right-hand turn. And that's the truck I was talking about, the FEMA truck. The traffic's all snarled up all the way down through there. Now this is a brand new house on the left. They brought that in 3 boxes, and then they're finishing out the lower level, and they won't be allowed to finish it out, but they'll be able to just enclose it. Now back in here, this is another one of the areas. I don't know how low it is. This would be one that I would suspect is got flooding or had flooding. We'll be able to tell in a minute, because you'll see the stuff out on the street, piled out on the street. So far it looks good. So this elevation might be like the elevation on my street, which is a little bit higher than most of the island. So those guys got that closed in with plywood, and they caulked it. So they got their house prepared for the hurricane that's coming in. The thing I don't like about the plywood is you got to drill into your windows and doors, and I just don't want to do that. So this is one of those that there's no flooding that happened in here. So take a look at that. So maybe there was flooding. You see that? The sandbags up against their door, they put plastic up against it ahead of time. The problem with the sandbags is the sandbags don't make a perfect seal. So they're a great idea, but I don't know that they really work. I've never done it, so I don't know. But I didn't, you know, being a contractor, doing all the stuff I've done in the past, I don't know. I would be very skeptical about that. Now the fact that they put plastic over it, now that keeps it, maybe you always put plastic over them, I don't know. But the way they did that, that's a good idea. That's a real good idea, because that makes the whole thing somewhat sealed up. So that's the only one so far that we've seen that has made preparations. That was a raised house. They're just protecting their downstairs area. Now this house right here, sitting wide open, this blue one, well, that's from Hurricane Ian. That happened 2 years and 1 month ago. So all these guys are over here working on these houses. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you how aggravated and just frustrated I am about this whole thing. I don't mind. I don't mind doing extra stuff. I just don't want to do it so often. And if this is going to be the normal, I definitely going to have to raise my house, because for me, moving it's just not an option. I'm not going to do it. I just love it here. So the hurricanes suck, but I don't want to deal with it. So look at all this. So that's somebody's engineered floor that's out on the curb. So that house flooded. This one I bid out not too long ago, this one on the left, and they were going to have it torn down. I guess they changed their minds and rehabbed it. Probably, if you notice the elevation of the house next to it, probably just flooded again. So here's another one that's been let go. I don't know if they're working on that one or not. The garage door's intact. I don't know. Doesn't look like a lot of flooding here. I don't see sandbags, and I don't see people. See, they moved everything out of their house too. These guys got their water and everything ready. This may be my next door neighbor. He got me up at 5:30 in the morning. I was actually already up. We're over there pulling his tarp and trying to get it. No, it had to have been a little bit later than that because it was light out. So that's not him. He don't. His windows aren't tinted. He's just got a basic truck. This guy right here, Nice, muy bueno, very good. He's a great contractor. Done work for him in the past. We've done an owner finance deal with him on a duplex, and we renovated it and refinanced him out. Thank you for doing that with us. If you ever hear about this, Steve. So Fort Myers Beach, Hurricane Milton is on the way. We're pulling back out onto the main street. The traffic is snarled up all the way back to Publix. Why? Why is it snarled up? My guess, without going down there, and we might go down there a little bit further. So these two buildings you see in front of you, they're both buildings. That building right there, they're just now putting the roof on it. Look at the other building over there. They're just stripped that roof off and they're putting a new roof on it. So these are things that happened from Hurricane Ian, which is September 28th, 2022. This is 2024. This is August or October of 2024. That one's empty. Those are all empty. These are renovated, but that's empty. And then when Hurricane Italia came through, it flopped the roof off of that thing into the parking lot after the, Yeah, it was like a year later or whatever when Adalia came in. Now, these guys right here, all these semis, what they're doing is they're unloading all these pipes. These pipes are for renourishment on the beach. So what those guys are doing is they're getting all the pipes, and then they seal them together and they run them all the way out, 1.5 miles, and then they suck the sand in and they bring the sand back in and renourish the beaches. So a lot of traffic on the beach, not normal for a summer day. This guy right here is getting his trailer off of his pull behind, getting it off the island. Smart move probably, especially if we get the storm surge that we're thinking.
I was strapping a porta potty to a post.
Yeah, so a lot of people are going to be doing stuff like that. Now what we're doing, we're heading down here and we're going to strap a camera onto the same pole that these guys we're going to strap a camera in the same location. A lot of people have seen this. I know it's had like 10 million views or 20 million views. Yesterday that was a big mound. And we're going to strap a time-lapse camera on this pole in the same location, and we're going to leave it run for the next 2 or 3 days until we and hopefully we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what I don't know. We're just going to see what happens. On that video, there was a pink house. The waves started coming in. You could see it coming in, and you seen it slowly come up and up and up and up and up, and eventually it got to the point where the waves were lifting this house up, and it eventually lifted the house up and ripped the house in pieces and sent it down the street. So that's we're going to put this camera in the same location that guy had that did that 10 million view video. And it's right by the Lani Kai. Hopefully nobody steals our camera. And we're going to do that, and we're going to put a time lapse out. So you see these guys, they're all loading up these sandbags, and there's plenty of sand around. There's piles of sand everywhere. So everybody's doing their little form of preparation. Sanibel put out a mandatory evacuation of 10 o'clock on Tuesday. For some reason, they're doing it Monday, today, at 3 o'clock for this island, which it's just too soon. We need more time. This thing is not, it's not that close. So we need more time. What the heck? Why has it got to be so I mean, the thing ain't going to be here. They're not expecting it until Wednesday, later in the day. It'll be nice to have some additional time. Now, Fort Myers Beach came up with this rule. You have to have a tag for your car, or you can't get back on the island. So now everybody's busy as all get out, and we all got to stop what we're doing and come down here and get a pass so that you can get on and off the island. I don't even want to give you what I think about that. All right, so all these cars, I'm not sure what all these people are doing here, so we're checking it out. Okay, this is a bunch of people. They are getting sandbags, and they're filling up sandbags as a group of people, and you know, obviously they're wanting to protect houses. So we're gonna go over here and take a look at this from this angle. So that's what all them cars are doing sitting over there, is they're filling up sandbags. So back here, Andrew is one of the contractors that's been working on the island. They were big instrumental in cleaning up the island for after the hurricane. Everybody's out here in a mad dash getting their equipment off the island because it's going to get ruined by the hurricane. So these big pieces of equipment, they'll drive them off tomorrow. These littler pieces of equipment, they're using their guys to get them off. So these are all hurricane preparations